use 4 golden seeds. Just have one now. Such a bitch. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I think I know what to do now. Be wary of any permanent creature. Where ahead? Oh yeah. Okay. What the fuck was that? Okay. My God. So no way I can beat him. I mean, I do have damage.
little Calva. I'll soon birth thee anew, a sweeting, fresh and pure. My beloved, have no fear. I will hold thee. Patience. Ye will be countless born, forever and ever. Upon my name as Rani the Witch. Mother's rich slumber shall not be disturbed by thee. Foul trespasser. Send word far and wide. Of the last queen of Caria, Renala of the full moon. And the majesty of the night she conjureth. Thy fate lieth under mine.
God. Let's see.
this fucking first. Wait, hold on, stamina. Schoolhouse, classroom. That's where I am. Okay. Let me just search how to export from. YouTube. XP from Elden Ring.
Who wants to farm millions of runes in Elden Ring right at the start of the game to become extremely overpowered without even killing any bosses. These are going to be the best free rune farming methods that you can reach in just 15 minutes after starting the game. Now you can do this at any point in the game, but starting out we're going to be picking the deprived class. Compared to the other classes, this one starts at level 1 with the best base stats in the entire game. This means that if later on you want to swap your character build from a two-handed strength warrior to a mage, your stats will already be ready to do that. And don't worry, even if you're a new player, you won't actually need to fight anything for this whole video. But I will warn you that by the time you're done following this rune farming guide, you might find the starting bosses and early areas of the game too easy. But it's up to you how you play the game. I'm assuming that you've just started the game and you've just finished the tutorial boss and prologue. If you already know where you're going, you can just skip ahead to further in the video. But very early on, you're going to arrive in the open world of Limgrave, the first here on the map now. And then if we actually head northwest to the church you can see directly off the cliff in front of us, we can unlock the next site of grace. Now I'm playing the video at a faster speed here. If this is going too fast, easier for you to follow out towards the forest in the distance along the path until you reach the other side of it, and you'll see these another on the right. You can hotkey your in. Next, if we mount up and we go along the continue down the path and go left, you'll find a map fragment just here on the ground. Up and we go along the road into the gatehouse ruins, you can find a map fragment just here on the ground. Here, if you actually hop off your mount, you can break this guard's back, and then we can loot the chest that he was guarding. Inside this chest, we're going to find the flail weapon, which we can't actually equip yet, but we will need it later. Now, if we look on our map again, we can see that we're right here, just to the northeast from the gatehouse ruins. We now need the path to the north in real time now along this path away from the ruins. And I've heard quite a few people are struggling with the Elden Ring DLC, so I will be making a very easy game and dirt track with the enemies on it. Some of them will I recommend just going to the right and around the ruin here, and then rejoining the path on the other side. Eventually we're going to reach the end of the road, and we're going to arrive at the third church of Marika. So come in the door here and we can unlock the next resting point of grace. Now, if you want to find the map fragment here, there is a guide in the description below. But now from this resting point of grace, we're going to go behind the broken wall just to the right here and just head through the bushes, and then you can hop over these rocks and you'll see there's a lake behind the church. Massive short that you can head across because he never attacks you. Next landmark that you jump off. So after you another, and this is where our first use, but it is so. So just head to a stone boulder is going to appear out of nowhere, and suddenly it's going to start rolling towards you. So you want to dodge to the side here so that the boulder will fall off the cliff in front of you. And when that boulder is destroyed, it's going to give you 1,952 runes for doing literally nothing. So if you head back up the hill and then just go and rest again, that boulder will respawn and you can just repeatedly farm this location over and over again. And I timed myself just running there, dodging to the right hand side so the boulder always falls off the cliff, and then obviously sprinting back again. So every 25 seconds you're going to be making 1952 runes. It's going to give you 281,000 runes per hour. But do not sit here and farm it for an hour. It's going to be a massive waste of your time. And so instead there is a much faster method, which is right next to this one. But before you go there, just do this a few times so you can level up your dexterity to level 13. And then if you have any more runes left over, I recommend just smashing them all into instead of literally in front of you here. So now we're going to rest here to unlock it. Another site of grace right in front with you. And then when we get to the other side of the bridge here, we're going to bear to the left because he never attacks us. You can just run right past him. As long as you're on your mount, he won't catch up with you. And then when we get to the other side of the bridge here, we're going to bear to the left. That's going to be your next landmark that you're heading to. And if you look off the cliff here, you'll see there's an updraft of wind. Now, if you jump off the cliff and land where that updraft is, you won't take any fall damage. So after you've done that, just turn back around and go between the cliff and the tower, and you'll see there's another site of grace right. Farming method worth knowing. Down the hill, stone boulder is going to appear out of nowhere, and suddenly it's going to start rolling towards you. So you want to dodge to the side here. Destroyed nothing. So if you dodging to the every 2080 dexterity to more faster. Draft do now you have additional stamina. It's going to make the next farming method even faster. So what we're going to do now is from this site of grace is we're going to turn around and we're going to head back to that updraft, and we're just going to jump inside of it so we can get back onto the cliff edge. And now if you look around, you'll see a massive, really big tree off there in the distance. We're just going to run towards that next. That you can jump in to access the tree, come around its base, and you'll find another updraft that you can jump in to access the cliffs above. And once we're on top, we're going to be at Fort Faroth, where we can pick up the Radagon Saucer Seal, which is a talisman that boosts our stats while we have it equipped. So rest outside at this side of grace, and now we can go ahead and enter the fort just around the wooden wall door, and then I'm just going to drop down. We're going to run to the hole right and across the side. So make sure you have that dodge roll prep. Once you've dropped down this hole, you'll find a body, and on that body is Radagon's Saucer Seal. And after this, you can just go ahead and let those rats take you down. You're going to respawn outside, and now we can start the pay close dexterity. What we need to be using this for its unique bleed effect. You can use another blow, and if the controller does, you'll see a massive video over and over again without killing it. And this is the part you don't want to mess up. So as you can see, we're going to run over and attack this dragon, and it literally does no damage. But don't worry, if we do kill it, it's been discovered that you can actually farm this dragon repeatedly over and over again without killing it. And this is the part you don't want to mess up. So as you can see, we're going to run over and attack this dragon, and it literally does no damage. But don't worry, if we do keep attacking it, you'll get a chunk of bleed damage, which hits for a percentage of the enemy's health. So that's 13,000 damage, taking a big chunk of its health bar down. Now it's actually even faster with the flail weapon to trigger this bleed effect. If you just hold down the flail special attack button, you can actually spin the flail and get multiple hits per second. This is going to end up applying that bleed effect even faster, which is obviously where all our damage is coming from against this enemy. So I'm standing just where these mushroom-like things are, and just make sure that the flail is actually hitting the hitbox of the enemy to register all those hits as much as possible. Otherwise, you'll just be wasting your stamina. And once your stamina is consumed, you can just stand there for a second, let it regenerate, and then just carry on doing this over and over. It'll take you around 3 minutes 30 seconds to defeat the dragon, but it's very important that you don't take it down completely. As you can see, it's eventually going to get to this very low amount of health. It's going to have this much health left, and it always works out to be exactly the same amount of health, because obviously it's percentage based damage. So you're not going to like accidentally kill it. you'll see it gets to this much health, just like on my screen. And this is where the really important part comes in. At this point, you want to mount up and stand next to the dragon just here, and then start attacking it normally to apply that bleed effect again. And this time it's going to kill the dragon. And as soon as that bleed effect triggers, you actually see the dragon's tail flinch slightly. At this point, as soon as you see that, you're going to need to sprint back to the resting spot of grace on your horse. And you can press the left trigger or X button to dismount, and then you can just spam the Y button to rest at the resting spot as soon as possible. After you actually rest here, you'll then see that we've gained 50,000 runes, but the dragon, if you turn around, is still alive. And it used to be that you could only kill this dragon once, but now you can actually kill it repeatedly and farm it over and over again. And this is after the DLCs come out and after all the updates have come out, it still works. Remember though, if you don't run back to that resting place fast enough, you'll kill the dragon and it won't respawn. You don't have to be ridiculously fast, you have some leeway there, but just don't mess that part up. So anyway, I ran this rune farming spot a bunch of times and it takes 4 minutes to do each run, which gives you 750,000 runes per hour. But there's actually a way to make this even faster, so don't sit here and farm it for an hour. You'll be wasting your time. So before I show you the third and final farming technique, you're going to want to get the following items. The first item can be obtained by opening the map and fast traveling back to the starting area of the first step resting spot where we started this video. Once you arrive, we're going to jump down to the left off this cliff, and then we're just going to head and follow the cliff to the left here, and we're going to look off the edge of the cliff for the updraft on the beach below. And then you can just jump off this cliff onto the beach, and because of that updraft being there, as long as you land nearby, you won't take any fall damage. And if you look to the left where the beach itself is, you'll see a golden pickled fowlfoot right in a cluster of bodies here, protected by some undead. But you can just run there, pick where the beach updraft on the beach area here and farm it for an hour. You'll be wasting your time. So before I show you the third and final farming technique, you're going to want to get the following items. The first item can be obtained by opening the map and fast traveling back to the starting area of the first step resting spot where we started this video. Once you arrive, we're going to jump the cliff on the beach itself. It increases the rune gain you get by 30% for 3 minutes. I also made a guide on how you can craft and farm all of the ingredients you need to get an unlimited amount of this item. And I would highly recommend you do that because they're just useful throughout your entire playthrough. I'm going to link that video below in the description, and I'd recommend that you just know the ingredients you need, because then you can carry on farming them as you're playing organically instead of doing it all at once, which is a bit boring. So that will give you a 30% boost to your rune gain, but the next item actually gives you a permanent boost. It's the Golden Scarab, and this is a talisman that increases the runes you obtain by 20% for as long as you're wearing it. And I made a video on how to get this and linked it down below in the description too. So when you're using both these items at once, you're going to get a 50% increase to your runes gained, which obviously makes any farming method you're doing just much more efficient. And before I talk about the fourth farming method, the third one is obviously to go back to killing the dragon, but this time with 18 dexterity, so you can use that flail, and with the Golden Scarab talisman equipped for that 20% boost. And again, before you kill the actual dragon, you're going to eat the golden pickled fowlfoot. And with both these effects active, you're going to get 75,000 runes per run, which is going to give you 1,125,000 runes every hour. And hilariously, you can make this farming method even faster if you upgrade the flail weapon to plus 15, so you deal even more damage for 1.5 million runes per hour. But in my opinion, this is just a waste of your time and resources to do this, because this is only supposed to be an early game farming location. So once you actually reach level 50 to 60, you're already going to be massively over leveled for this early game area. And if you want a guide on the next best farming locations for the mid game onwards, you can check out that next video just over here. But as far as early game farming locations go, this is definitely one of the best to get to level 50 fast.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
The first question you asked yourself after 10 minutes. Opinion, the most efficient and the fastest way to farm runes by farming the Albanorics in Mogwin Palace. This is the location on the map, and you can get there by completing various quest line or taking the blood teleporter in consecrated snowfield. This is the location of the teleporter on the map. This is a late game area, but this takes you directly to the Albanorics location in Mogwin Palace. The main question now, which weapon should I use for farming? Of course, the Sacred Relic Sword. And how to get this weapon? It is so simple. Just beat Elden Ring. These items will give you more runes, the gold pickled foot, which gives you 30% more.
If you're a new or returning player who wants to farm millions of runes in Elden Ring right at the start of the game to become extremely overpowered without even killing any bosses, these are going to be the best free rune farming methods that you can reach in just... If you want to farm... Today in Elden Ring, I'm going to be showing you how to get an additional 30% more runes whenever you kill anything in the game. To do this, I'm going to show you how to craft unlimited amounts of the golden pickled foot, which is actually incredibly easy once you understand where you can farm the free required ingredients to do this as well. You can literally farm 100 an hour by following this step-by-step guide, since the ingredients are actually so accessible. will give you to farm your crafting recipe 30% runes for 3 whole minutes. And since the crafting materials are so easy to farm, you can use them whenever you like. So to craft the golden pickled fowl foot, we'll need to first unlock the crafting recipe. Then I'll show you the 3 farming locations to gather all the ingredients really quickly, so you can make an unlimited amount as well. So let's start by obtaining the crafting recipe. This can be done right at the start of the game at the first step bonfire, just here on the map. You're going to go directly north to the Agheel Lake North encampment, and then from there you're going to go east along the road. Before you get to this bridge, you want to come down here to the lake, and then from the lake you're going to head all the way north, and there's going to be like a secret cave located just around here. Just starting from here on the map, you can see we're going to head east to that first waypoint I marked in the south along the path here. Just head along the pathway, and then we're going to head right towards the lake shores just over here. See, this is the lake, and we're just going to follow around the cliff to the left, and you can see this is the underside of the bridge now. Going to go ahead and sprint through these undead enemies. Now on the left hand side you will eventually find a secret cave. However, if it is the first time you've come here, you'll be invaded by the Finger before you can enter. This is an AI controlled phantom. Don't worry, just avoid him, and shortly after a golden AI will appear to help you defeat him. The golden warrior will kill him without your help, so just keep your distance. Upon defeat though, he drops runes and a unique dagger, but after that you can enter the cave. But now we're right outside this secret cave, which is located just over here on the map. As you can see, it's just here, right in this river valley, located next to the brazier. And now we can go ahead and proceed inside. I'm going to use a torch, which you can get from the first merchant you meet, for 200 runes if you haven't already brought it. We're going to head inside Murkwater Cave, and there's already a resting spot of grace just here, which we're going to activate. And we're just going to head on inside. There's going to be some enemies in this first room here, but we can literally just ignore them and run past and go to the right just here. And then there's a boss wall, which we're going to go inside. Now in this room, there's literally nothing but a chest in the center of the room. As soon as you open this chest, the boss fight will start. I suggest you prepare yourself. Now, if you followed my best starter mage guide, linked down below in the description, you'll find this boss fight with patches rather easy. I suggest that you use the wolf summons if you are struggling to distract him, or even going for backstabs if you're playing a close combat character. Either way, you do not want to fully kill him. Just go down to a quarter of his health, then he'll actually surrender to you. If you've already killed him, don't worry. I'll explain what to do later.
Wait, please! I surrender!
But ideally, you're going to want to leave him alive, since you still lose access to some other unique quest rewards later on in the game otherwise. Definitely forgive him.
A true man of reason.
So now we're going to head back to the resting spot of Grace. After you rest and head back to Patches. And now he will be set up at his shop just over here. As you can see, he sells 3 golden pickled fowl-foot. However, we can actually make unlimited of these, so do not waste your runes on them yet. Instead, come down here. What we need is the Missionary Cookbook 2, which unlocks the crafting recipe to craft golden pickled fowl-foot. So let's go ahead and buy this for 800 runes. Now, if you already killed Margaret, the first main boss, here in the castle, you're going to want to find Patches at the next location, which is north of the castle in this giant lake, where you must come along this path, past the Liurnia lakeshore, to the Laskyar ruins. Looking more closely at the map, we're going to go all the way north along the path, onto this rock in the middle of the lake here, just where I am on the map, with a telescope to the east. You're going to want to put a waypoint here and basically head over. Once you arrive, you'll find Patches atop this cliff next to another resting spot of Grace. You can buy the recipe we need here as well. However, if you did kill Patches, he would have dropped an item called the Patches Bell Bearing. This is an item that will probably be in your inventory if you didn't already notice it, but if you take it here on the map to the Round Table Hold, once you get here, you'll then be able to exchange it with the Twin Maiden's Husk to unlock his shop here instead, where you can then still buy the recipe to craft the golden foot. Now we have the recipe, we must find out how to farm the ingredients we need to craft it. The golden pickled fowl-foot requires 3 roa fruit, 1 four-toed fowl-foot, and 1 golden firefly. I'll show you the best farming locations for each of these and how to get there next. So the first thing we need to obtain is the roa fruit, which is the most easy common ingredient to obtain. You've probably already seen it. It's so easy. Just go back to the bonfire and rest there, and everything instantly respawns again, and you keep riding. That's the best way. These will often drop from birds, and birds can be found all over cliff tops and beaches, but the best way to kill them is with a bow. And after that, I will show you the best farming location that I found on Reddit. Now, the next part of this guide will require you to have a bow or any kind of ranged weapon. So to get that, you can actually get it at the start of the game here, west, just here. And he actually sells us a short bow. Birds from that bird to go and kill. So all you need to do is go ahead and aim at them with the bow and just kill them like this. Now, if you kill them with the bow, they don't fly away. So you can just go ahead and shoot them all. However, if you were to use, for example, glintstone pebble, like this, they won't fly away unless they're standing next to each other. Like that, you'll scare off the other one. The same thing happens if you use melee. However, there is a much better farming location for getting the birds. From the first step ruin, on going over this lake to the, and you can, and I've unlocked the head all the way north to 10 it repeatedly until you get as many as you want. It really doesn't take long at all, and you can always come back and farm them whenever you need them. It's also a fantastic source of feathers. Next, we'll be obtaining the golden firefly, which is very easy to get stacks of. They grow near bodies of water located near an Erd trace. And then directly south from this, in this lake, we'll find a... So here we are at the lake, and as you guys can see, there's a bunch of fire. Then you're going to farm. Need to cut the... Okay, quest was sent to our chest. This is a full walkthrough on how you start the game. You're going to want to come north up this path here to the Gatefront Ruins, and then head directly east across this bridge, and then at the fork in the road go north and follow this path all the way up to the third church of Marika, located here on the map. Just where these mountains are, you'll be able to head up the cliff by using the wind to jump up the cliff face until you reach this path just here. Once you're on this path, you can just head all the way around here and then head south on the path until you get to the smoldering wall resting spot of Grace, which is just under this telescope icon on the map here. Now, once you reach this location, you're going to have a look on the map, and you'll see there's like a wall outline just here. Follow that along until you get to this sort of dark blotchy area on the map, and that's where you're going to put your waypoint, just over here. So we're starting here at the smoldering wall resting spot. You can see this is the resting spot. This is the path that you would have come down. This is the telescope just here. And then you're going to see this big wall, and really easily. And if you don't have the map unlocked, check out my other guide linked below. So starting from the first step where you start the game, you're going to want to come north up this path here to the Gatefront Ruins, and then head directly east across this bridge, and then at the fork in the road go north and follow this path all the way up to the third church of Marika, located here on the map. Just where these mountains are, you'll be able to head up the cliff by using the wind to jump up the cliff face until you reach this. Come north up this path here to the Gatefront Ruins, and then head directly east across this bridge, and then at the fork in the road go north and follow this path all the way up to the third church of Marika, located here on the map. Just where these mountains are, you'll be able to head up the cliff by using the wind to jump up. Let me show you how to get to the boss's location really easily. And if you don't have the map unlocked, check out my other guide linked below. So starting from the first step where you start the game, you're going to want to come north up this path here to the Gatefront Ruins, and then head directly east across this bridge, and then at the fork in the road go north and follow this path all the way up to the third church of Marika, located here on the map. Just where these mountains are, you'll be able to head up the cliff by using the wind to jump up the cliff face until you reach this path just here. Once you're on this path, you can just head all the way around here and then head south on the path until you get to the smoldering wall resting spot of Grace, which is just under this telescope icon on the map here. Now, once you reach this location, you're going to have a look on the map, and you'll see there's like a wall outline just here. Follow that along until you get to this sort of dark blotchy area on the map, and that's where you're going to put your waypoint, just over here. So we're starting here at the Smouldering Wall resting spot. You can see this is the resting spot, this is the path that you would have come down, this is the telescope just here, and then you're going to see this big wall. So we're basically going to follow this wall all the way to the east, and you can see the waypoint that I put over there in the distance earlier. And by the way, the Ultimate Dragon t-shirt merch has just dropped, so you can check that out from the link below too. Carry on following the wall, and you're basically going to get to a cliff once you reach the edge just over here. So we're at the end of that wall there, and this is the cliff that drops all the way down. And then just to the right, there's kind of like this big rocky outcrop. And now if you look to the east, you can see we can actually drop down on this area just here. And you can see, which is just under this telescope icon on the map here. Now, once you reach this location, you're going to have a look on the map, and you'll see there's like a wall outline just here. Follow that along until you get to this sort of dark blotchy area on the map, and that's where you're going to put your waypoint, just over here. So we're starting here at the Smouldering Wall resting spot. You can see this is the resting spot, this is the path that you would have come down, this is the telescope just here, and then you're going to see this big wall. So we're basically going to follow this wall all the way to the east, and you can see the waypoint that I put over there in the distance earlier. And by the way, the Ultimate Dragon t-shirt merch has just dropped, so you can check that out from the link below too. Carry on following the wall, and you're basically going to get to a cliff once you reach the edge just over here. So we're at the end of that wall there, and this is the cliff that drops all the way down. And then just to the right, there's kind of like this big rocky outcrop. And now if you look to the east, you can see we can actually drop down on this area just here. And you can see just on the other side of this cliff, there's another area where we can access like a secret sort of cave. So what we're going to do is look at it, then you're going to want to sprint and jump, and then jump again. And here we are. Now we're at the bottom of this cliff. So we can dismount and we can access this secret cave. Now, I'm just here on the map. You can see the abandoned cave has now appeared. And this is the resting spot we started at, just for reference. I do recommend that you use a torch when you come down here, which you can get all the way big rocky outcrop. And now if you look to the east, you can see we can actually drop down on this, and then you're going to see this big wall. So we're basically going to follow this wall all the way to the east, and you can see the waypoint that I put over there in the distance earlier. And by the way, the Ultimate Dragon t-shirt merch has just dropped, so you can check that out from the link below too. Carry on following the wall, and you're basically going to get to a cliff once you reach the edge just over here. So we're at the end of that wall there, and this is the cliff that drops all the way down. And then just to the right, there's kind of like this big rocky outcrop. And now if you look to the east, you can see we can actually drop down on this area just here. And you can see just on the other side of this cliff, there's another area where we can access like a secret sort of cave. So what we're going to do is look at it, then you're going to want to sprint and jump, and then jump again. And here we are. Now we're at the bottom of this cliff. So we can dismount and we can access this secret cave. Now, I'm just here on the map. You can see the abandoned cave has now appeared. And this is the resting spot we started at, just for reference. I do recommend that you use a torch when you come down here, which you can get all the way back over here in Limgrave at the Church of Ella from the merchant just there. So in this location, we're going to be dealing with something called Scarlet Rot. In order to resist Scarlet Rot, you're going to want to wear armor with a high immunity rating. Currently, I'm using the Astrologer's armor set, which has a decent immunity rating. And if I look at my stats, I can see I currently have a total immunity of 113. However, if you followed my best starter mage guide, you can also get the Traveler's outfit, which as you can see has a better immunity rating. So if we equip this full set of armor, you can now see I have a total immunity rating of 132. And with that, we're going to be proceeding into the dungeon. And again, guide on where to get that linked below. So we're going to activate the resting spot of Grace just here. And then you can see just down there is Scarlet Rot, which will kill us pretty damn quickly. Let me show you guys the problem with it. Essentially, if I drop down, I have to walk really slowly through this. I also roll really slowly. The only way to get away from it is to sort of back dodge like this. And obviously, once you've contaminated Scarlet Rot, you start to take even more damage. In particular, these geezers you see exploding with this gas, they will just chunk you for tons of damage if you are poisoned to Scarlet Rot. So what we're going to do to counter this is look down there, and as soon as you see it explode, we're going to run and jump off the edge just now like this. And then we're going to look towards us, and we're going to just carry on smashing the B button like that. And then we're going to end up just here. And just keep smashing B and then just walk over to it. Don't jump, because jumping also isn't fast. And then we can just sit here and wait for the Scarlet Rot to go down. But you don't actually have to wait. Instead, what you can do is stand just here, and we're going to look to the west now, and we're going to like run and jump. And you see, we don't touch any of the Scarlet Rot. And from here, the rest of the dungeon's actually really easy. That was the hardest part. But you're going to get so used to doing this that honestly, you won't find it to be a problem. But now we're going to head down here to the north. You can activate this for some extra support if you like. Do summons, because there is a boss at the end. And we're literally going to come into this room and turn right. And you'll see another cliff. Now, just down there, I've already picked it up, but there will be a unique serpent's bow. So if you like, you can grab it off that body down there. But we need to go off this cliff just down there. But you can see there's an enemy. I recommend just running past them. In fact, if you land on their head, it makes your life even easier. So we're just going to start sprinting straight on now. There's going to be some rats here. We're just going to carry on running past them and ignore this mage at the top. Jump up here. As long as you're sprinting, he'll miss you every time. Run to the right of these rats. Just carry on running down this little area. No point in killing anything. And now we're going to go to the right because there's Scarlet Rot. We're going to jump over. There's two mages at the top there. So we're going to run a bit to the left. Then we're going to run right. And now we're going to run all the way up here and jump. And then just carry on going like that. And that's how you basically get past those two mages. And the boss gate is just up ahead here. But I've already killed the boss on this character. Don't worry, I'll show you how to kill the boss and I'll show you footage in a second. But just to be clear with you guys, those two mages that you saw on top of that cliff there are very problematic. If they hit you with their green spells, it will poison you, which then makes doing the boss afterwards very hard. So that's why you need to sort of run to the left so that they fire their projectiles. And since you can run faster than them, you then have time to run up to the right and actually miss you every time. Run to the right of these rats. Just carry on running down this.
Okay.
Validating state. Elden Ring todo.
Lahat this map over explore begobe.
Then Wukong game to save.
How come you do that? Tasum complete baby anya topja.
Rest of
Koi Wukong stand set top size. Yeah, no. Stupid.
Black Wukong.
validating to you.
On chain gar be sa the brand de owning sta to
Brand did you get the chair much is a contact with most culture to meet you. It's brand new home ya.
na na ko oni na da be
Masite. Ronaldo no boto polo che na brand default to
oh no oh no
Jamie wants to so.
oh my god
Who joined? Oh. Oh, big man in the house.
哎，我说你们也真是，不知道在干什么。你这个 C 4贴的这个莫名其妙的，你这
真是的呗干什么
I love you, man.
没
Jamie
事，
wants
你
to
说
see.
全说了再说的。
really
Jamie.
真的
Want the Jamie cafe? Jamie 这样子的。
你要贴到车上来，你要。不废话吗？
I made this a dollar for you.
ngai yan
你是谁？是巴拉拉
oh the gas chila this thing
啊！
What the?
不要听着我们。
Ngadi gislo. I made them to bola for you.
对，这
阿妹妹妹，你是谁？是巴拉拉？对没对没？你看了？
反正啥子的，这
Ah, Jamie is home.
龙天，
yo
龙天呢？加米勒的。
give up
Oh, full Jamie, man. Half Jamie ko. Half to be.
yeah
कोई सेवा कोई लैंग्वेज सी थी यार जमी की जापानीज स्टम्प में हम
okay
Ah, the settings get us over it.
Uncle,
oh
give me some Wukong man.
just no just time back
Wukong 아니와 스토리 모드 조비나.
che ani secret boss gar sei bo
Secret boss ya.
oh
Stone monkey ya.
stone monkey the last ki enemy mein the 3 eye beam nam lok thap go bad
Secret boss से नहीं जा चुनागी बैप रूम दिया.
man the secret boss every stage ki re but so ani gar chabe tele che lok stage 3 na jo be ani boss lok thao jo go to
Story the gade mas story mode pe na.
oh story
Kau
mode
lagi
mein.
ni na
Story right na.
Elden ring में दे. Elden ring में.
아니 그래서 코 시비 우공 시비 컨즈기 아니요 ancestor over descendant की द को 우공 की टाइटल बनी द नो
Oh, me chego.
हाँ तो तेरे सुनी में तो जो हो बेसा.
Ate.
हाँ वो तो लाची भी.
She water la 10 minutes ki la me duro. Achi hero selection na ko thiu me. Lok thai me se.
देखी थी दानम की काजनो बच्चा.
Lu tengah check show.
oh my god
Ой,